Dear PSP, check out this sweet game I got.
That ain't built for big boy games. That's built for texting your grandma and calling your girl.
You text your grandma?
Of course I do. And for $9.99, you could be playing this on a PSP. And this, and this.
Those games?
Yeah.
For $9.99.
One second, hold on one second.
Okay.
This guy just don't understand.
Hello?
$9.99, sucker.
Welcome back to Retro Rebound. In today's video, I picked up a bunch of PSP games. Here in 2022, you may be wondering, Maddie, why are you spending all this money on PSP games when, you know, we just had PS Plus launch and you got PSP games in there? Why are you buying physical ones and spending all that money? Well, low key, I'm taking a look at the stack we got here. I'm going to show you all. And yeah, this is the best part of my collection. My PSP collection is so nice. So I'm excited to share some of my pickups with all of you over the last couple of months. But also, I don't trust modern gaming. So PS Plus right now lets you buy the classics that they put as a part of their subscription service separately. So I could purchase certain PSP games. I just don't trust that they're gonna always let that be the case. Not only that, but I see what Ubisoft's doing is they're taking down DLC. There was a big scare with Assassin's Creed Liberation. And then I remembered what PlayStation tried to do with the PS3 and Vita store, and now they've left them halfway torn down. So I'm standing there at the pearly gates of the digital age. Everyone's beckoning me in. Come on, Matt, come on. Put my hands in my pockets. I look up in the sky and I say, yeah, I think I'm gonna take my chances elsewhere. And I walk away, turning my back to those pearly gates. And so here we are today, sitting down to talk about PSP games I'm buying this year. If you're new here, you're into retrospective, nostalgia content, of course, game hauls or unboxings, we got one coming, don't worry, then consider subscribing. With that, let's start off with our first game here. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. This box art tortured me as a kid. This was one of my first pickups when I started collecting for my PSP. I remember being in Walmart and always they had like the vertical case with the games and this box art was there. And it always called out to me because it looked so epic and emotional. And I was a young kid at the time, so I didn't know what was going on. But I remember seeing this crying character here. I never played this game, but this crying character, I was like, I need to know what's happening here. Obviously, I didn't have the money, so I could never buy it. But finally, I'm doing it right. And I have the game in hand. And I would love to play this for the first time here on this channel. So expect that sometime in the future. But anyway, it says control the fates of gods and mortals. As a Valkyrie of Norse legends, you must collect the souls of fallen warriors and prepare them to fight ultimate battle between gods. One thing I really liked about this game was not only the premise of that right there, what I read, but as you can see on the back of the box, it says devastating combination attacks, a story of mythic proportions, because I believe there are choices in this game, and simultaneous 4-character control. So like every character is mapped to a face button. You can do these crazy combos. The way combat is handled is very different. This cost me at the time about 50 bucks. I love the complete box look here. We have the art in the back when it wasn't popular to do this, by the way, the double-sided cover art. So this looks really good. The manual itself, black and white, but as you see here, this is an easy way to win me over. Full page art. You love to see that type of stuff there. But this game has gone up in value ever since then. And as you can see in the character screen here, Valkyrie, Freya, so there's Odin, right? There's a lot of callbacks here, which I really love. I've always had a fascination with Norse mythology, so discovering more and more about this game has been quite rewarding, and I'm excited to one day play this. But this has gone up in price. It's no longer 50 bucks. I think it's, last I looked, it was like 70-ish, but I could imagine it's gone up more since then. Next game I picked up, couldn't believe this wasn't in my collection, but I made it right. One of my favorite side-scrollers of all time, Mega Man X Maverick Hunter. I remember traveling to my brother's baseball tournaments and playing this game and like having this major breakthrough, right? I feel like every Mega Man game, as you play it, if you don't use guides, when you play it, you're toying around with every level. You're like, what's the weakness? How do I use this weakness against this creature here? And it's a lot of trial and error. At least that's how it went for me as a kid. And when I was on this baseball trip, because this game had stopped me on multiple occasions, I had rented it twice. I finally bought it and really committed myself to it. And we were on this trip, and I was thinking, like, I'm not going to have a breakthrough here. I'm not in my comfort zone. I was out on a lawn chair. But lo and behold, I did. And I blitzed this game in that week, and it was awesome. So this cost me about 20 bucks. Get ready for extreme adventure when Sigma leads a group of Reploids in a revolt against mankind. It's up to X and Zero to protect the world from ruin. The revolutionary Mega Man X side-scrolling game is recreated with 3D graphics, remixed music, and special unlockable features. Yeah, that's one thing I loved about this. I think this game has one of the best voice representations for X. I also loved how the graphics looked. I mean, of course, the original Mega Man X is one of the most beautiful pixel art games ever, but yeah, this game is just fantastic. Also complete in box. Comes with a little back sticker here for your PSP for Mega Man Powered Up, which I thought was actually pretty awesome. You can see inside here some of the remains of that. And there's even a old sticker here from GameStop, which I like because it's on the inside. I can allow that type of stuff, right? I know I'm usually like a stickler, but overall, another black and white manual, but lots of art in here for all the different modes and transformations of X and subscreens. I love how different the font is here, like very futuristic looking, but then the top panels have this kind of handwritten look to them, Vile mode, which is pretty cool. I always love that. So X Maverick Hunter was about 20 bucks. Great game if you haven't played it. Highly, highly recommended, especially again because the voice acting and stuff. I think it's really good as a Mega Man fan. All right, this one might regret because I've seen some leaks online and it looks like Square Enix is bringing it back, but I saw it at a game shop in Lynn, Massachusetts, and I picked it up. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. I know nothing about this game, complete blind buy, but back then in the early 2000s, the late 90s, when you see Square Enix and you hear a lot of people talking about Square Enix JRPG, you kind of do those things I call the trust buy, right? I'm like, okay, I've heard enough people say stuff about this where I saw it for, I think, $40, and I went, yeah, you know what? I'm happy with that. Because sometimes, for me, it's about paying for the quality. Like, when a game just looks good and it's on that shelf there, that sometimes, for me, will let me not even check the price online. Most times I do, but sometimes when I just see something, I'm like, that's good. Someone's taking really good care of this. I don't need to worry about this, because I do have a story with, this is a kind of a pun, Vagrant Story, my complete box copy for that. It came cracked, and I didn't do enough research, and I did a little too much trusting there. So I always want to make sure I'm getting it from the right sources. Anyway, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. The back says, rise up soldiers and prepare for battle. Tactics Ogre has been reborn. The original developers have reimagined Tactics Ogre's experience from the ground up. Do you have what it takes to lead your army to victory? With evolved 3D battlefields, more detailed character models, and upgraded spell effects. Interact with new playable characters, branching storylines, and multiple endings. That's something that you already know. You're speaking Maddie's language with that one. And says, command your armies through fast and more compelling battle experiences, cracking it open. I just love the style of this game. The art seems really cool. We got a Square Enix membership card here. No double-sided art for this one. Like I said, exceedingly rare what Valkyrie Profile Lenneth did. The manual here is great, though. Take a look at that. Look at all the color, the maps that are in here. Oh, this is just great. This is awesome. This is actually one of the first times I'm cracking this thing open and really taking a look at it. So this is a raw reaction here, but wow, this is a lot of text here. This is a deep game. I'm in for a rude awakening, it would seem. But yeah, I'm holding off probably till the end of this year to see if I want to play this, because if they're going to do a remaster, of course I'll keep this in my collection, but play the redone version. But I just love the pixel art, man. Square Enix and pixel art, just hand in hand. Beautiful work. So yeah, about $40 for this bad boy here. This one, very cheap game. I've shown you some expensive ones, and we have plenty more. Fret not. But this one coming up, $6. As you can see here, the sticker's still on the front, because I like to do big sticker removal sessions. Like, really, it's kind of therapeutic, like just peeling them all off after a couple hours. So this one, Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. Now, a lot of people grew up on Diablo. Diablo 2 specifically is one I hear a lot about. For me, Untold Legends and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance were my action RPGs growing up. And of course, the Champion series. Just, oh my God. Untold Legends, the amount of hours I spent on it is untold, dare I say. This is the sequel, I believe, the second game in the series. There is a third game that's on PS3, and there's an original Untold Legends game. Be fearsome as a foursome, journeying the world of Unataka, and engage in battles to save Avon, a timeless city of safe haven, and the last remaining stronghold for your people. Join the Brotherhood of the Blade to battle powerful creatures, discover rich treasures, and unravel the mysteries of this ancient world. Action RPG combat, 4-player wireless multiplayer, we'll talk about that in a moment. Original fantasy adventure with 4 unique classes and different fighting spells and powerful abilities, and over 100 levels, 110 unique monsters, 40 quest adventures, and thousands of items, plus replayability, plus multiple character classes. I mean, my God, this was such a great bang for your buck option growing up. Loved this. So, multiplayer, this was a huge part of the game for me. I'd go over my friend's house, and we would always link up with the ad hoc on PSP, and you can see here some of the character classes: the Knight, the Alchemist, the Druid, the Berserker, so on and so forth. And we'd link up together and just play for hours upon hours. And if you've played one, you've played them all, right? Whether you've played Untold Legends, whether you played Dark Alliance, you played Champions, you know, they all roughly function the same, but they're just so enjoyable. There's just a great hook to them. So $6 for this one, great pickup, no hesitation on that one. Another one in the vein of Untold Legends, really underrated game here, Justice League Heroes. Now, I have this also on PS2, but I discovered it on PSP. I remember this game because when my brother went away to college, I was all sad because I didn't have my big bro around. And so I remember playing this game in his bed. I mean, talk about a wimpy story right there. My God, man up, Matt. But this is pretty much the Justice League take on Ultimate Alliance, and Ultimate Alliance kind of was the take of what was happening with Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and so on and so forth. So it's like a streamlined action RPG with a leveling system, and yes, you can play as all of the members of the Justice League roster. As it says here, wield extraordinary powers in interactive, destructible environments. Join forces with the world's most powerful superheroes, including Batman, Superman, The Flash, and more. The Flash was huge for me because I remember I always thought The Flash was so cool as a kid growing up. I actually never watched The Flash TV show, but I've heard some pretty bad things as of late. But I always thought The Flash deserved his own game. So to have a game where you could play as The Flash was awesome. Team up with your favorite heroes against vicious and infamous supervillains. Customize and upgrade your superhero team using the role-playing style boost system from the developer Snowblind Studios. That's the team responsible for those games I was just talking about, like Champions and Baldur's Gate, so on and so forth. Embark on an adventure crafted by the developer of Champions of Norrath and the acclaimed writer Dwayne McDuff. So yeah, this game was awesome, by the way. Does not get nearly enough credit. This game is also really cheap, whether you get it on PS2 or PSP. It's really up to you, personal preference. As you can see here, manual, not doing anything crazy, just showing off the character roster. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, also playable. Really cool stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about this at some point. Batman Beyond on the back, so that can help date the game, for God's sakes. Batman Beyond. Bring that back. Come on now. Okay. Now we start to get into a hilarious story here. So I'm going to show two at once for this. We have Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai and Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai Another Road. So I was at a flea market and I saw Shin Budokai Another Road. Now, what's great about buying stuff from people in person with cash is they're more willing to negotiate. And I've noticed at times, and I don't do this on purpose, when I have a channel, people seem more willing to give me a discount. I don't like to weaponize it that way, so usually it just comes up. They're like, why do you collect? And I don't know, I just spit it out all the time. I'm like, oh, well, I love gaming, but also I have a YouTube channel tied to it. And we get into it, and they're like, oh, you know, if you want to have a discount, I think maybe they think I'm going to promote their business or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, when I was talking to them, they offered me a great deal for Shin Budokai Another Road, where they rounded all of the items down, and effectively this priced out to be, I think it was like $30 less than what it goes for online, right? So I buy Shin Budokai Another Road because, as you can see here on the back, experience the never-before-told story of future Trunks as he battles through time to save mankind from a horrific fate. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Trunks is my guy. He is my guy, my favorite character in Dragon Ball, Trunks. So I actually never played Shin Budokai Another Road, right? So I saw this, $50 I think is what he ended up giving it to me for. I was like, oh, that's a great deal. So I pick it up, right? Now, as you can see in here, we have the UMD for Shin Budokai Another Road. Before I go through the complete box experience for that, let's go to Shin Budokai. So, as we see here in the back, battle anytime, anywhere, wireless multiplayer versus friends in network mode. the single-player story mode on the movie Rebirth of Fusion, so the Broly movie. And this says challenge up to 18 high-powered warriors, including Broly, Janemba, Pikkon, Cooler, Goku, Vegeta, and more. And you crack it open, and here you see the greatest hits UMD for Shin Budokai. I'm not going to be a stickler about the disc here, because this already was a more expensive venture than I had bargained for. So here I'm thinking I'm getting a great deal, right? But what actually happened was when I cracked this open, I did not know that there was a little text here. It says another road. I don't know why I didn't check this. So I sent a picture to my friend like, yo, got this for 50 bucks. Check it out. And this guy sells it to me. And I think he thought he was selling me Shin Budokai. I thought he was selling me Shin Budokai Another Road. And so this Shin Budokai 1 UMD was here in the case with the manual and everything for Another Road. So I had to buy the UMD for Another Road and then buy the case and manual for Shin Budokai. And now we have both of them complete in box. But yeah, that was a moment where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't even notice that, because usually I'm pretty good at checking that stuff, but it was such a small thing that it was easy to overlook. As you can see on the back of Shin Budokai promo for Fusion Reborn, the movie that they show it, or I'm sorry, it's not the movie. This one's based off of Rebirth of Fusion, I believe. This is the Janemba movie, just based off the art. I think that's a safe guess, but I also think, was that the movie after or before? It had to be after, right? Anyway, the manual here, it's got Broly in the background, which is pretty cool. You like to see his menacing glare. Relatively thin for its time period, but it was literally Dragon Ball on the go. Couldn't complain too much about that. It was a Budokai game on the go. Then Shin Budokai Another Road. We'll take a look at the manual for that one. This one at least has Gogeta, and it's a little more colorful. So they seem to have listened to my my critiques, if you will. Cooler's there. You love to see that. This game's awesome, by the way. Played quite a bit of it this year, and just a little pick up and play action. And we can see a remastered Season 1 promotion here on the back. But anyway, Shin Budokai 1, not too expensive. I think it's like $30-ish when I got it. This one, I can't really give you an accurate price because like I scrambled all over. I ended up paying market value for both of these when it was all said and done with the manual, the boxes, and the extra UMD, but I digress. Happy to have these games in my collection, but what I was even happier to add, and what was much more expensive, was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team. So yes, they had the Budokai games on, of course, PSP, but now they got the Tenkaichi games. Tenkaichi Tag Team is awesome because it you know, Tenkaichi just ramps up the character roster and just makes this ultimate fan service game with a climax with Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So here it says, experience the 2v2 team battle. Choose from 70 playable and customizable characters. Let's just stop there. That's why this game was awesome back then. And that's why I'm picking these types of games up, right? I'm getting so lost in telling you all stories. Like, that's why I'm picking up games like Justice League Heroes, Dragon Ball Z. You know, PlayStation has surprised me when they got Toy Story 2 onto the service, right? Like, that was kind of crazy. But I don't know how often that's going to happen. And things like Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's something that probably Capcom's going to remaster and re-release, right? We have the original Mega Man X, but we're seeing them do Legacy Collection after Legacy Collection. And without a doubt, they got to do things like Legends, probably X Command Mission. God, please do X Command Mission, and so on and so forth. So I just don't trust the process, and I think I'd be waiting longer than I'd actually be playing these games. So I might as well buy them and play them now. Anyway, back on track. This is a game that I would be thrilled that they brought onto the service, because this is a game, I mean, just doing a Budokai collection and a Tenkaichi collection would be amazing. I know they did an HD collection for Budokai 1 and 3, but kind of missed the mark for a lot of people, and I would agree with that. But just to bring these back, people will lose their minds, and especially with the Dragon Ball game drought right now, it would just be nice to have something new. So anyway, back to the back cover. Relive epic battles from the Dragon Ball Z or create your own matchups. Jump into white-knuckled action with tons of signature skills and super attacks, and multiple adrenaline-pumping single-player and multiplayer modes. This cost me about 90 bucks. This was not a cheap one. In the manual here, this ain't a 90 bucker is all I'm going to say, but you got Cell there, and Cell's my guy. So I love the Android Arc. It's my personal favorite. You got Vegeta here. Nothing crazy here. Come on now. We're better than this, Bandai. But anyway, yeah, this game was fantastic. So happy to have it in my collection now. 90 bucks, though, hurt a little bit. When I picked up Tactics Ogre, I also picked up this one, Final Fantasy IV The Complete Collection. What I had read online through the various renditions and re-releases of Final Fantasy, it's becoming quite dangerous, and I think I've done well so far. You know, I got Final Fantasy VI Advance, which seemingly was the best version. And it seems like Final Fantasy IV The Complete Collection is the best version. Square is becoming really unpredictable with what they're going to re-release. Like, we're seeing rumors based off the leak on NVIDIA. Like, we're going to get a Final Fantasy IX remake. I am thrilled about that. That's my personal favorite. So I can't wait to see if they bring the 7 remake quality to that game. But if you originally asked me before that leak if that was going to happen, I'd be like, hell no. So for me, I don't know what they're going to remake, what they're going to remaster, what they find value in. So I don't know if 4 is up there with some of the best. I know nothing about it, but you'll notice I'm slowly collecting them, right? I have 3 on DS. I have 4 complete collection. And again, this is one of those things where I think Square has done a good job bringing their games back, but I want to have the definitive version here in my hands. So the back says, one of the all-time greatest games complete, with Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, an all-new Final Fantasy IV interlude that binds the 2 epic narratives together. So that sounds awesome to me. I have no idea what that means, though. High-definition graphical updates for both Final Fantasy IV and the After Years. Enjoy the complete Final Fantasy IV experience for the first time in North America. So yeah, I'm really, really keen on trying this game out at some point. Right now, I'm working through, as I record this, although it should already be out by the time you hear this, Final Fantasy 12. And then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. But this manual, when I picked this off the shelf, I was like, this is a hot one. I mean, number one, you can kind of tell just by looking at the edges, like, this is a crispy manual. Like, someone bought this game and just never touched the manual. I am over the moon with the sprite work. I love the field map images I'm seeing here. Oh my God, this just looks great. I'm seeing something about moons. I don't know what that's like. This is like a game I'm really excited for. Wow, the battle screen. Nice. Yeah, I mean, look at all the color. Doesn't take much. And okay, so there's a Final Fantasy IV section and then a Final Fantasy IV, what do they call it? The After Years. Look at the back art. Oh, this is great. This is fantastic. I also got this at that game shop in Lynn, Massachusetts. They're called Second Chance Video Games. If you want to check them out over on Instagram, they do post tons of stuff. They get into the store and they'll ship them to you if you're ever interested. I have yet to do that, but it's something they did tell me about. But I got this for about 50 bucks and it looks great. I'm very excited to one day play this. All right, easily the most expensive purchase I've made in a hot minute is this one here, and the price tag's on it for you all to see for yourselves. Persona 1, 150 bucks. You know, it's funny because I'm probably not even going to like this game that much because I love Persona 3 and on because of the social elements of it. But I'm just such a diehard Persona fan. I got to have them all. And I do want to play this on this channel at some point. Because this was at the point in the series where it was very much like the SMT spinoff, and it hadn't created its own identity so much. But I just facepalm less because of like, am I going to like this or not? I facepalm more because I remember seeing Persona 3 Portable for about like $50 online, complete in box at eBay, and going, that's outrageous. Now it's like $200. Like all the Persona games with 5's popularity and the demands for ports, remakes, and remasters, and they are remastering 3, 4, right? Like they're bringing them back, I should say, and bringing them to modern consoles. But with the demand being there and no one really answering from Atlas as of yet, these prices have skyrocketed for the Persona series. And so I bought Persona 1 for $150. This was at PAX East. This was one of my big purchases of that weekend. I said, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to justify this, but I've earned it somehow. The back of the box says, experience the start to the acclaimed Persona series. So this was originally a PlayStation 1 game. The reason that's important to distinguish is because the soundtrack in the PSP version, there's one thing that's been consistent throughout the entire series. It's that, oh my God, so good. So just keep all of that in mind. But continuing on, it says fight against demons or negotiate with them to help you. Remastered and rebalanced with the long-awaited Snow Queen quest, and learn to fuse personas to add skills and depth to your battle tactics. Cracking it open here, we can see the Persona strategy guide. Yeah, I might need that one. That's for sure. The butterflies and the background butterflies here on the front. I love the purple color scheme for this. That's one thing Persona always gets right, is the color scheme. It's very uniform across their entire game. This is another manual that just, oh, it's so good. Oh, look at that. You know, purple's such an underutilized color in video games. I'm recognizing that now. I feel like Final Fantasy does the deep dark blue, but maybe I'm just not thinking outside, like Wario. Who's doing a lot of purple nowadays? They walk you through the negotiations. That's something that they should probably do nowadays in current Persona games because it's still kind of confusing. The order of personas and types. This was the original Pokemon, by the way. Pokemon copied Persona. And then join the Atlas Faithful. Wow. That's some type of rally cry. So yeah, most expensive game in the stack right here. Persona 1, complete in box. All right, last two I got here for y'all. First one, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. GTA, huge blind spot for me. I played San Andreas, I played GTA 5. I think that's it. Yeah, like GTA 4, GTA 3, so on and so forth, Vice City, whatever. This game, nope, nothing. So that'll be fun to explore here on this channel for sure. There are a million stories in Liberty City. This one changes everything. Once a trusted wise guy in the Leone crime family, Tony Cipriani, I believe is how you say it, was forced into hiding after killing a made man. Now he's back to put things right. Okay, so like the back of this box is like loaded with paragraphs, which is insane. I haven't played this. I believe this was back. Oh, that is just, oh, I didn't expect that when I opened it. I forgot. That is a wonderful manual. Oh my God, it's like a newspaper article. Oh! Oh my Lord. What do we got here? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's just amazing. Oh my God. Like, that is so awesome. No one's done this before. Rockstar, man. Rockstar, man. That's an all-timer manual. Dude. Oh my gosh. Really? I love that. I love that. What I was going to try to say is I think this was when GTA was like a top-down series. I'm not sure, but hey, you got a winner there. That is an amazing manual. And then last but certainly not least, so Star Wars Battlefront, phenomenal series. There were some exclusive PSP games there, one of them being Elite Squadron. The back says the battle gets bigger. One connected battlefield, which is crazy, right? Because you had this on the PSP, but I don't think Battlefront 2, you could do it on the PS2 with the OG. It says more customization, vehicles, and weapons. Play an epic story spanning the entire Star Wars saga. This game, I remember, like, the amount of nights I was just... My parents would say, all right, go to bed. It's time to go to bed. And I just close the door, turn on the PSP, and it would be a late night for me. All right, let's take a look at this manual here, see how good it is. It's black and white. It's very thick, too. Like, this... I feel like this could rip at any moment. I got to be careful with that. But, yeah, this is another one that... I'll be stunned if any of the OG Battlefront games come back. Like, to me, that is ripe for the comeback through whether it be Aspire with all the ports they've been doing or the PlayStation Plus back compat system. But the reason I don't see it happening is because of EA and DICE. So that's why I bought all of these games on my PSP, a huge collection to go through. Of course, we have Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Final Fantasy IV, Dragon Ball Z, Tenkaichi Tag Team, Shin Budokai Another Road, Justice League, Heroes, Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, and Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. Fantastic pile we got here. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Are you picking up any PSP games? Let me know. And with that, I'll catch all of you in the next Retro Rebound. Peace out.